TypeScript is one of the tools that helps me move really fast when building applications, and especially with Nuxt, one thing that I would like is to have a type-safe router, so I can quickly catch if I'm going to a page that doesn't exist, if I'm passing the wrong parameters, or using mistakes like that. I know this is something that the Nuxt core team is experimenting with, but recently I found a really cool library called Nuxt Type Router that already gives us a lot of these features. So in this video, let's take a look at it. To add it to your project, you just have to install Nuxt Type Router, and then add it to your modules in your Nuxt config. And let's say we have a project with 3 different pages, a home page, a blog page, then a dynamic blog post page that has a slug parameter. So for example, in our blog post page, Nuxt Type Router allows type checks for this slug parameter. We can say const route equals use route like we normally would in Nuxt, but if we try to pass in the name of our route here, we can see that we get type checking for all available route names, and once we choose blog slug, if we check route.params, we can see that we properly get slug. And another really cool thing where this module helps is we can get a type to Nuxt link component and navigate to function. So inside a template, if we create a Nuxt link, once again, we'll get autocomplete for the to prop, and we'll get an error if we try to go to a route that doesn't exist in our project. And a kind of intuitive question based off this is, what about external link, since Nuxt link can support those? And the solution is to just pass external true to the Nuxt link component, and that type error goes away. And the same kind of idea works if we use Nuxt to navigate to utility. We get type checking for the route name. If we pass a route that doesn't exist, we get an error. And we also get type checking for the parameters. So if we try to go to that blog slug page and we don't pass a slug, we'll get an error. And then one tip I thought I'd throw in here is that the difference between Nuxt navigate to and view routers router.push is that navigate to actually uses router.push under the hood, but has some additional logic for handling external links as well as server-side redirects. So when in doubt in your Nuxt project, I've used navigate to since it just has additional functionality on top of router.push, and this is really helpful when I'm working with some of the more complex routes in an application. And those are kind of all the features that I use it for, but it can also handle IETN and also handle some more complex Nuxt routes straight out the box. And literally, as soon as I started editing this, I saw this tweet saying that Type Router is now an experimental feature in Nuxt. So I started playing around with it in the edge release, and it works pretty similarly. We can pass in paths to our use route and get types in the params. We can get some type safety with a navigate to and Nuxt link. But some of the differences that I found so far is that with the Nuxt Type Router module, if we try to go to a link that doesn't exist, we'll get an error, but so far with the experimental, we won't. And also, we only get these type errors with params if we have that params object. If we don't have the object, it doesn't show any errors for now. But granted, I'm taking a look at this 2 hours after it got merged into main, so there's definitely things that are going to be improved before it's actually released. But I wanted to add this into the video so you're aware of it, and I'll leave a link to the PR down below. Let me know if you like it, and I'll see you in the next one.